Just a little late there, though, getting that out. Meantime...
Yeah, late, but not too late.
He's still certainly ahead of everyone else, but unfortunately not as ahead as he could have been. Nonetheless, though, we're seeing Tadaka's Inex is starting to get pounded here, but he seems to be holding strong. Warlock with Merciless Witchblade, though, is getting up in on this one Havoc squad. That is going to cause a break in the defenses. Here come Banshees. They are running into the Havocs and everything else. Sorcerer's getting out of there. Chaos Space Marine stepping up into melee with the Havocs, with the Banshees, I should say. They're getting out of there as well. Chaos Space Marines from Vindicator X are running as well. And Tadaka's Inex has a Chaos Space Marine squad that's going to lose at least one model, maybe more than that, with a bad knockback there. Two models indeed. The Havoc squad is really far back here. Warlock down to 6 health. Havoc still trying to stay up. They actually do get up in time in order to set up and take out quite a few heretics, but they're getting hit by 2 Guardians from the side. They're going to have to get out of there. And we see...
Vindicator lost the Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah, he lost the Chaos Space Marines to Immolate as he was trying to go ahead and get them into the building there to provide support. But all of this is plenty A-OK here for Vindicator X and Tadaka's Inex because both of them are getting a Tier 2 a little bit ahead of Strigoi and Asminator. Now, Strigoi is getting a Tier 2 pretty efficiently here as well, but Vindicator X is already bringing in Bloodletters, and Tadaka's Inex is getting a Tier 2 about as quickly as Strigoi, but he's got a much larger Tier 1 force. He's got those dual Havocs, and he's got dual CSM as well, and a pretty nice looking Chaos Heretic squad to go with his excellent Sorcerer play.
Yeah, I must say that Vindicator and Dukshin has the advantage, there's no question about that.
Yeah, although the victory points really are not much in their favor at all. In fact, they aren't in their favor at all. It's 359 victory points to 386 right now, and that is actually favoring Asminator and Strigoi.
Well, not for long.
No, not for long with a 3-cap. That won't hold up too much, and especially because we're seeing the power here being threatened, and down goes Strigoi's Chaos Lord. That's going to be another significant issue for him in terms of force composition department, and we're seeing the middle starting to be really controlled here by both Vindicator X and Tadaka's Inex. They're really working together now. We see, pretty interestingly, they opened the game in this sort of state where they were not really working. I'm not going to say that they weren't working together. They're certainly working together still, but not working directly together. And now they're in a very different state where they're working quite directly together. Here comes Dark Flames down on Chaos Space Marines.
Down.
Yes, the Sorcerer goes down. Dark Flames able to douse the Chaos Space Marines enough that they've got to get out of there. And that does ensure, though, that this power generator farm in the bottom is going to go down and be captured. Meanwhile, up top, we've got Bloodletters causing all kinds of problems. And they do manage to go ahead and destroy the node. And that's going to be another 125 requisition that Asminator or Strigoi is going to have to foot.
Yeah, and they can't really afford that at the moment.
No, they can't afford to foot any more bills than they've already got. And meanwhile, we see Banshees trying to come in from the side on these Havocs, and they just are inside the firing arc, and that is problematic. Warlock taking a couple of extra hits there on the Merciless Witchblade than he wanted to. Meanwhile, though, we've got Bloodletters coming in top of the Havocs. The Havocs retreating easily in time. Actually, the Merciless Witchblade helped them retreat at the perfect time there because with Merciless Witchblade, they were already knocked back. They were already de-set up. Grenades coming into those Havocs. It won't kill them, but it will take 2 models out.
The Havocs down almost.
Meanwhile, we've got Core and Chaos Space Marines against Bloodletters. Those Core and Chaos Space Marines are getting out of there because they do not have warship support. We see that warship support is on the Bloodletters, and that is causing problems. But we've got Lightning Claws down for Vindicator X, and he's also grabbing Icon of Core, and that's going to give him help on hit. And that's going to make him quite a powerful Chaos Lord indeed. And just in this whole general situation here, he's going to be performing really quite exceptional, I should say, in melee. But now we've got Warship Bloodletters coming in with Havocs moving in as well. A Blood Crusher is coming out for Strigoi. And map control in terms of actual victory point stuff is really not too bad on either side. The problem here map control wise for Strigoi and Asminator is that they do not control the power that they need to control at this stage of the game. And as well, Vindicator X's Chaos Lord
down on that.
Yeah, and Vindicator X's Chaos Lord, as we can see, is just wading through everything here. He's really in a quite nice upgraded state. Those Lightning Claws are really expensive at 200 and 200 requisition and 50 power, but once you get them on him,
pay off though if you can get the Mark of Count.
Exactly. Yeah, they really do pay off quite a bit, and that really is the difference between them and the Maul. Is that the Maul is about as effective, technically, as the Lightning Claws are, unless you get Corn, and then because the Claws hit so much more often, they're more effective there. That said, we've got a Blood Crusher moving onto the field now from Strigoi, and
I'm not sure if it will be that efficient, though, in the long run.
It does cost quite a bit, and I'm not sure if that ever fully justifies itself, but certainly it is effective. And we have Icon of Zeech actually coming out now for the Chaos Sorcerer of Dodaka's X, which is going to pose some interesting problems for the Guardians, the Banshees, and most notably the Heretics. Meanwhile,
yeah, the Heretics might just go boom in one go.
And meanwhile, we've got Bloodletters trying to get in on that Blood Crusher, but just not enough there to sustain that push there from Vindicator X. He had to retreat out his Heretics, and his two Bloodletter squads couldn't get in there at the same time. Meanwhile, we've got Vindicator's Corn Chaos Space Marine squad trying to do some bashing up top using their superior speed to go around and be kind of just annoying in all ways possible. And meanwhile,
that didn't succeed too much, though. But
no, but it has actually drawn a lot of forces away from where they would otherwise be. And now we see that this is an ideal position for Vindicator X's Bloodletters. He's got the opposing Bloodletters cornered, but an excellent special, timely special coming in from Asminator, and that swings the tide of the battle there a little bit. But he had his Bloodletters in Warship, while his opponent's Bloodletters were not. It was 2 Bloodletters to 1. It was just
that is 2 Mark of Corn Havocs there. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, he's going to go for the dual autocannons here in order to help deal with this Blood Crusher, while not sacrificing effectiveness against this otherwise infantry-heavy force. So making perfect sense here is what we see from Dodaka's X. Meanwhile, Vindicator X really just handling these Bloodletters and making them his bread and butter. It's his job right now to deal with this Blood Crusher. If he can't deal with it, it's going to be a big problem for both of them. And he's not getting a lot of support here. This Blood Crusher is really just running rampant through his Bloodletters as they're having to run a little too deep in. But the Corn Chaos Space Marines are, the Corn Havocs are able to hold off the Blood Crusher from doing too much at the moment. And meanwhile, we've got Grenade Launcher.
Well, they're doing good damage. I must say that the 2 of them really are quite devastating.
Yeah, they are able to dish out some damage. They don't snare anything. But meanwhile, by the way, we might have some Heretics being lost by Dodaka's X. He's got them in melee. Their Grenade Launcher Heretics meleeing these Warp Spiders, and they die. But those Warp Spiders actually could pay for this with their lives, and they do! The Corn Chaos Space Marines taking them down. So that probably was a good trade in the long run, although, as we all know, Heretics so useful.
So chafed.
So useful at this stage of the game for their warship bonuses. But for Dodaka's X, he doesn't really have any units other than his Sorcerer, which are going to benefit from that incredibly much compared to Vindicator X.
Went down, and the Warlock might go down. Oh, he goes.
Yep, in the bottom, though, we got a very interesting situation here. This Blood Crusher is trapped, but we're starting to see something. I'm not quite sure what caused the mass retreat there. Oh, it looks like we might actually have oh my gosh, the Melee Global might have gone down there, and that would have sparked that instantly, because a couple Bloodletter squads, or just Blood Sacrifice, dude, either of those two. It is Blood Sacrifice.
Kind of mismicroed or hit the wrong button.
No, he didn't. My apologies. It was Blood Sacrifice. I was trying to figure out exactly. I saw some kind of global down there. I couldn't see it initially, and then I saw that we got that. There it goes. Yeah, they just disappeared. It was a Blood Sacrifice to call in another squad of Bloodletters there, and Vindicator X was not ready for that. He did not want to confront that. He was not confident in taking that on. And so he just backed out of that fight, as close as he was to taking out that Blood Crusher. But he's got another chance now, and that's why he did it. He knew he'd have another chance. He's working on it. He's not quite able to capitalize. It's at a 69, but it runs into a wall with a charge. It's still able to get around it, though. But Warship might actually cost this Chaos Space Marine squad its life from Strigoi.
Down. Yep.
They are gone. They are absolutely gone. But they are buying some time and keeping this victory point in favor of Asminator and Strigoi, who need it because they're only at 72. Meanwhile, we got the Blood Crusher here, and outgoing our Bloodletters, who are possibly going to get grenaded on retreats. But it looks like the Blood Crusher is going to screw up their pathing just enough that they will not accomplish that effectively here. And meanwhile, we are seeing that the whole point here of this Harness of Rage is being used quite effectively by Vindicator X to go ahead and fuel up the energy of his Bloodletters and everything else around here. And doing a quite nice job. But Warship is the deciding factor in just about any Bloodletter versus Bloodletter fight. And that is something that Strigoi has in his advantage right now. Nonetheless, this Chaos Lord from Vindicator X doing so much that killed a weak, basically healing him up from about half health all the way nearly to full. And now we're starting to see the power of Tadaka's and X's forces coming in with their ranged brutality here.
It is 3 Corn Havocs.
And why not at this point? They are doing well against just about everything they possibly could be, especially when backed by these Zeech Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah.
But Warp Throw is going to throw some wrenches into this. Nonetheless, though, we see some chains tossed down on these Bloodletters. Those chains that are tormenting the Bloodletters. And the Warlock's going to go ahead and pick out Strigoi's Chaos Lord. But again now, map control has shifted in favor of Tadaka's and X and Vindicator X. They're at 295 to 49 victory points. And they have the forces to pull this off. Strigoi is trying to save his Blood Crusher here so that he can complement it with a blood, not a blood anything, but rather a Chaos Dreadnought as soon as he possibly can. And meanwhile...
Yeah, but as Moninator is kinda in a bad position.
Yes, he is. He's got only a Guardian and his Warlock in Tier 2, with no real hope here of going Tier 3. Well, okay, maybe some hope, but... no current attempt anyway, so I'm not quite sure what Asminator's quite looking for here. But we see Summoning Circle called in by Tadaka's X here, and that is probably going to be the end of this Blood Crusher. Exactly, down it goes between the Corn Havocs and the Bloodletters there. Just absolutely no chance, and a great unclean one coming out for Vindicator X now. Meanwhile, we see this a big Warp Throw, but Chains of Torment absolutely messing with this Autarch, and retreating with Distort Field on, actually recovering health as range attacks hit her, because that's how it works.
That's kind of fun. You're shooting me, and I'm healing! Thank you!
The many things in Dawn of War 2 that make total, complete, unquestionable sense. And
yeah, right.
Meanwhile, 295 to nothing, Vindicator X, Tadaka's and X take the game, and they take the semi-final match, meaning that they take the round, and they're going to go on to the finals. Neither player is, well, I'd say neither player is a stranger to game replays finals matches, with both of them having progressed quite far in the game replays open season 1v1 tournament earlier this year.